Velocity TV begins now.
Are you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, strap yourselves in for the wildest thrill ride of your life. So grab a snack and sit back because we're about to throw it down.
We've got the best three-wide action door-to-door racing on the turn number 4 you'll find on iRacing, right here live on the Full Velocity Racing Network.
We are about to crown tonight's champion, and it's time to let her dig.
We're restacked and repacked up for turn number 4. Who's it gonna be?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome, everyone, to North Wilkesboro Speedway, broadcast to you live right here on the Full Velocity Racing Network. Thank you to Dirty Grass Soul for the playing of our national anthem, paying homage to the greatest nation in the country, as I like to say. But right here, we are at the 0.63 mile North Wilkesboro Speedway. 4 turns, nice and simple in theory. But this is a very difficult track to get around. But Craig Burns might have found something here. He's about a 10th quicker than the second place Robert Nestor. Michael Sheffield sits 3rd. Kevin Gladersick sits 4th. Adam Lighty sits 5th. Louis Irizarry, who has been on an absolute tear these past couple weeks. I think he's won every single race. Correct me if I'm wrong. But he sits in 6th now, in danger of breaking that streak. Chad Bissinger starts in 7th with an 18.276. Then Richard Gonzalez, Matt Opbrook, and David Edwards all did not qualify. They didn't put down a lap, but they'll be starting from the back. So it's a 10-car field, 10-truck field. Nice and simple tonight. Louis Irizarry did not win the first race, is what I'm being told. So now that streak in danger. Has been on a hot streak as of late. I think that's fair to say. But we got Jack up here in the booth with me as well. He's sort of working the controls behind the scenes. Phil is not with us here tonight, but I'm filling in. We got some big shoes to fill, but hopefully I can do a good enough job to keep everyone here. Thank you for everyone for tuning into the Adrenaline Rush Racing League Truck Series here at North Wilkesboro tonight. It's going to be a fantastic race. Craig Burns on the pole, Robert Nestor to his outside. They're getting ready to go and start some pace laps here, and then the green flag will be in the air for 240 laps around this 5/8 mile. At McConey Setup Shop, we offer custom-built setups for any asphalt oval car. Prices starting at just $5. Weekly setups available for all Legends, late models, modifieds, and NASCAR trucks, Xfinity, and Cup cars. Do you need one-on-one driver coaching? We've got you covered. Visit www.McConeySetupShop.com and find yourself in Victory Lane. McConey Setup Shop, handling all your setup needs so you don't have to. Thank you greatly to the McConey Setup Shop for throwing that commercial in there. I've heard they're a pretty cool group. For those of you that don't know, you can head
That's
on
not
over
what
to
I heard.
www.McConeySetupShop.com for all your asphalt oval setups, everything from Legends to Cup cars. Got you covered there. I've heard some great things. I heard they're also working with NASCAR Xfinity Series driver Anthony Alfredo, drives for RCR in the number 21 car. Looking to go full-time next year, but do part-time this year. But that's all good and exciting stuff. They also helped Dave Cameron get himself a win. iRacing YouTuber personality Dave Cameron get himself a top split win at the Daytona Road Course. And I heard all their setups are available now for purchase at www.McConeySetupShop.com/shop. But what do I know? I don't know anything about that. But thank you to them for throwing a commercial in there. And I am sure now that our leader, Craig Burns, maybe he's running something from the McConey Setup Shop because he's got a hot rod hooked up with a 17.645. He's a 10th quicker than the field. Let's see what he has here as they get ready to come to the green flag. Pace truck now pulling off. Craig controls the start here. Let's see when he decides to go. Pace truck off the track, and Craig decides to go now. Green flag in the air. He gets a good jump over the 11 of Robert Nestor, who is going to be able to slide in if he so chooses, but he says, you know what, I'm going to stick up on the outside. He's got Michael Sheffield behind him, side by side with Kevin, and he's doing a good job rolling that high line. You can get away with that here at North Wilkesboro, but you have to be very, very careful of not getting loose off turn 4. It's very easy to do, and that's the hardest part of this course is the exit of turn 4. Looks like the outside line is rolling, though, as Kevin in the 9 car is clear, and he's going to choose to stay up there in the second lane. Maybe he wants to see how that high lane will go, lay some rubber down up there, and work his way around this track. Out front, Craig Burns, he's got that thing in full sail. Man, he is pulling away from the field. Robert Nestor sits second, Kevin in third, Michael Sheffield fourth. Luis Irizarry sitting now in fifth, halfway up the field, halfway down the field as well. 10 cars here. He's got a long ways to go to get to the end of this race, though, and we know how strong he is on the long run. He's a very, very patient driver, and he can make something happen once he takes care of his tire. Out front, though, Craig Burns not really pulling away from Robert Nestor, sort of just holding, maintaining that distance. They're within half a tenth of each other each lap, so each driver here, Craig and Robert, doing everything they can to take care of those tires, but I think Robert's going to try and make a run for the lead. Kevin Gladysich sits in third, though. That 9 truck, it's looking a little finicky on him. He's trying to find its strong suit, and it's looking awfully strong when Robert Nestor gets a little bit loose, has to chase it up the track. Now look at that. Robert is all the way up in the third lane, going to try and carry as much momentum as possible, but it's not going to be enough. Kevin now down low. He's got Michael behind him in the 1 car, and Luis Irizarry might even be able to get around. So big mistake there for Robert, trying to hold on and make the best of a bad situation. but when he had to chase that truck up the track, he lost all that momentum. Now Michael here in the one car, Michael Sheffield to his inside. That's a side-by-side battle for third. Advantage to Michael. Louis Irizarry looks to go 3 wide, thinks better of it. He's just going to follow, though, get to the inside. Robert Nestor from second all the way to fifth in just a couple laps just by chasing that truck up the track. Now we're told that GT Louis Irizarry didn't win last week, so my whole theory goes out the window. I don't know. He's a good driver. He's sitting in 4th place. He's done really, really well. I've seen him do well in all sorts of cars. Trucks, Xfinity, anything you throw at that guy, he can make something happen, get it done out there. He's a strong contender no matter what he's in. And now in the trucks, he's looking to be he's looking for a little bit more. That truck was about half a second off in qualifying. Maybe he did it in race trim, but doing everything he can now. But that whole battle back there where Robert Nestor was sort of falling back from second all the way to fifth, when those trucks were side by side, that let Craig Burns pull away a little bit. His last lap, though, in 18.8, Kevin Gladysich in 18.7, a full 10th quicker. So he's got the speed, and maybe Craig's just taking it easy here and riding along. But you got to be careful. You don't want to ride along too long here. You have to stay aggressive. And now Kevin in 18.819 and Craig Burns in 18.915. He's about a 10th off the pace from Kevin behind him. Richard Gonzalez was having some internet issues, it appears. He lagged out of the server. The aliens grabbed him, as Phil says. But now he's 9 laps down. He's back in the race, though. Hopefully he can, well, maybe he'll get 9 cautions and get back around on the lead lap. It's marked as out on our ticker because he was out of the server for a while, but he is rejoining now. And he's going to try and run this race here. And that's the spirit of competition. Just do what you can. And now Kevin is doing exactly what he can, which is run down Craig Burns. He's now about a 10th and a half quicker each lap. So maybe Craig burned his stuff up. Maybe his truck's not built for the long run. Maybe the McConey setup shop isn't what he's actually running because their setups last a whole lot longer, it looks like. Now, though, Craig Burns sitting in the lead, trying to pull away from Kevin Gladysich in second. Kevin's holding off Michael Sheffield in third, Louis Irizarry, GT Irizarry in fourth, Robert Nestor sits fifth, Chad Biesinger in sixth, Adam Lighty in seventh, David Edwards in eighth, but that's a side-by-side battle back there. Adam Lighty's actually down on the inside. David Edwards makes the pass, score him seventh now as he gets around. Matt Opera looking to go to work on this 46 Adam Lighty as well. That's a battle for 8th place. This is a 240 lap race. They're averaging about 19 seconds a lap here. I think at the end of it, it's going to be about 20 seconds a lap. Adam Lighty made a little bit of contact there with Matt Opera, but no harm, no foul. They keep it green. Kevin now still trying to run down Craig, but maybe Kevin was burning his stuff up, or maybe Craig's listening and heard me saying that he's falling off the pace a little bit. He's now conserving his tires, it looks like, and he's going to hold on to the lead and actually pull away a little bit. He's got 1.1 seconds over second. We're 20 laps into this event. That is 1/12 of the way through this event. So by my math, 8.5%? 8 1/3%? Oh no, I'm the math guy and I'm throwing it right now. Yeah, 8 1/3%, 8.33% of the way through this race. And now this is the perfect time of any, if you want to go up, get a nice refreshing drink. I'm sure Phil's out there watching. Maybe you can go crack open a White Claw like I might do here. So go grab a drink. We got a lot of racing here tonight. Adam Lighty struggling at the back, trying to make something happen. Craig Burns not struggling at all up front. He's pulling away about half a tenth a lap. He's got Kevin Gladysich in second, Michael Sheffield in third, GT Irizarry in fourth, Chad Biesinger in fifth right now. And that's sort of the main contenders here. It seems like David Edwards, Robert Nestor have all really fallen off the pace quite a bit. Chad, he's got some work to do. He's gained a little bit of time there on Craig Burns that last lap. The 19.467, Craig with the 19.516. Those small increments do make a difference. They do add up. But over the course of a long run, it's all about how you can take care of those tires. 19.515 for Craig there, and Kevin a 19.551, about half a tenth slower. We do want to say thank you to everyone out there watching. Make sure to give us a shout, send some stars, do whatever you can. Let us know you are watching, and I love seeing racing like this. These smaller fields, a lot of times people say, oh, the racing's boring, it's a small field. Man, that is not true at all. These guys are driving with everything they've got. And if it's a small field, they all know each other. They know how every single one of them is going to drive. They know where they can push it. They know where they can't. We got a battle shaping up here for second place. Kevin Gladisick is now holding off Michael Sheffield. They've been really close the whole time, but it looks like Michael Sheffield might have found something here, or maybe Kevin is just falling off the pace a little bit. But Michael's looking low past couple laps, trying to make something happen. Maybe he's going to take a peek low. He gets a good run off turn 4. Has to check up a little bit to keep control of the car. Dives it into one. It looks like he's quicker on corner entry, Michael Sheffield is. And Kevin is just holding on, going to use that high line there to carry more speed. Try and make something happen as Michael Sheffield down on the bottom. Little wiggle. Kevin up top. Bigger wiggle. Has to take it all the way to the wall. Michael Sheffield scored second place now. He's going to try and run down Craig Burns. But that side-by-side battle, it let Craig pull away by another half second. He's got a 1.8 second lead over Michael Sheffield. Michael Sheffield looks like he was waiting on the opportunity to flex his muscles. Now he's turning laps quicker than leader Craig Burns. He is reeling him in slowly but surely, but that is a long uphill battle. We're an eighth of the way through this race already, and these drivers are feeling it. They're going to be worn out at the end of this. 240 laps around here is a long time, and it's plenty of opportunities to make a mistake. It doesn't matter if you have 239 clean laps. If lap 240 isn't clean, you make one mistake, it can throw it all away, and that can happen at any time here. These drivers have to be on top of their game. This is a tough place to drive around.
So how long can they go? How many laps can they go on fuel? Do you know?
Good question here is how long can these drivers go on fuel? We're not sure up here in the booth, but I think we're going to see these guys try and extend it as long as they can. But as soon as one person comes in, the rest of the field is going to follow. The fall off here is quite noticeable. 19.6 is the average lap here after about 30 laps into this event. We're on lap 34 right now, coming to 35. But you start off the race, you're running low 18s, 18.0 even for a while, and then now running 19.6. As soon as one person comes in and gets those fresh tires, you're going to have to come in as well and stay on par with them. Craig Burns has migrated up to the second lane, and I think that's interesting here. You're sort of watching these drivers try out different lines, see where they're quicker, see where they're slower. Taking a look on board with Michael Sheffield as well, doing everything he can to try and run down Craig Burns, but mostly just keeping control of that truck. Take a look at his wheel inputs when he's doing it. Just all the way the wheel gets to about 9 o'clock. He finds that spot where the wheel sits and lets the throttle do the turning, and that is doing a great job of taking care of your tires right there. These trucks and really every race car their entire purpose in life is to turn left. And they will do it if you take care of them here. Now we're seeing two drivers do exactly that. Craig Burns, Michael Sheffield are both doing a great job taking care of their tires, running very similar lap times, within 3,000ths of each other that last lap. And they're pulling away from the rest of the field. Kevin Gladdersich now 2.8 seconds back. Chad Benzinger 3.7. David Edwards 5.3. These drivers are all falling way, way back, losing time each lap. It looks like they might have burnt up their tires. Now Craig Burns is going to work his way through lap traffic. Look how quickly he gets around these guys. He's taking care of his tires, been careful with his equipment, and he blows by those drivers like they're standing still. Next up on his list, Adam Lighty in 9th place is going to go his first lap down. If he's doesn't get a caution here soon, I think he's hoping for one, but he'll have plenty of time. He's about 8 seconds behind Robert Nestor. Now about to get lapped is Adam Lighty. Craig Burns just going to go down here, going to wish for the bottom, probably in turn 3 and 4, maybe 1 and 2 on the next lap. Craig now getting right up to that back bumper. Doesn't need to do anything crazy here. Adam knows he's there. Adam knows he's quicker. And now Craig to the inside. He's going to be able to get around nice and easy. But this side-by-side racing here is going to give Michael Sheffield a chance to pull up and get a little bit closer. He's actually gained about half a second these past few laps. Michael Sheffield also gets stuck side by side with Adam Lighty. Nothing Adam's doing wrong there. He's still running his race, trying to catch the car ahead of him, truck ahead of him. But that side by side action there is going to slow down Michael considerably. He just caught him at a bad place, and now Michael down there on the bottom is going to get the run off. But that half second that he gained on Craig Burns, he just lost it all and then some. Now he's 2 seconds back. He lost a full second off of the leader. Caution flag flies here. Let's see, it's Adam Lighty. Yeah, I don't think he got, he got some help. Yeah, he got a little bit of help there. So some damage to Kevin in the 9 truck. That whole back bumper is now crushed in. Some damage to the front end of the 23, Chad Benzinger. It's 2 drivers now heavily damaged from 2 lead lap cars. Now heavily damaged. I think we're going to see just about every driver come down and take advantage of this caution. You see Craig Burns, Michael Sheffield, Kevin Gladserich. Now, if you're Kevin, I think you got to repair that damage and make sure you can get it all worked out. Matt Uprick decides to stay out here. I imagine he's going to fit on the next time by. But pretty much everyone has decided to come in. Adam Lighty might take the wave around to try and get back on the lead lap. Not too sure. Robert Nestor stays out. And Matt Uprick decides to stay out. Coming off pit road, Craig Burns first, Michael Sheffield second. But now coming out third is going to be Kevin. He's going to decide to stay, get some of that damage fixed, which frankly I think is the right decision. Now he exits pit road. He might come down, fix a little bit more here. But now these drivers, there's a little more rubber on the track. The track's heated up a bit. Now they've got four fresh tires on there, filled it back up with fuel, and they're ready to go for another 50 laps here. So we are almost a quarter of the way through this race already. We're just 20 minutes in, and these drivers are hauling. While we are under caution here, we're going to throw a commercial over to our friends with IracingIflag. Be sure to check them out, because, man, if you're not running IracingIflag product, you're just giving away potential at wins. At McConey Setup Shop, we offer custom-built setups for any asphalt oval car. Prices starting at just $5. Weekly setups available for all Legends, late models, modifieds, and NASCAR trucks, Xfinity, and Cup cars. Do you need one-on-one driver coaching? We've got you covered. Visit www.McConeySetupShop.com and find yourself in Victory Lane. McConey Setup Shop, handling all your setup needs so you don't have to. Welcome back, green flag in the air. Craig Burns with a jump of a lifetime over Michael Sheffield, who is asleep at the wheel, but he's still going to be able to hold on to second. Chad Bessinger in third, trying to hold off GT Irizarry in fourth. That is a side-by-side battle for third, though. Let's see if GT can get it done up on the outside. He's got the momentum. Does he have the run, though? He will. Now that chrome and blue Busch light car. He's going to slide into third and try and go to work on Michael Sheffield. While Craig Burns pulls away from the field, he's going to try and get a big gap going so he doesn't have to worry about a thing in a couple laps. Sheffield sits in second, making up a little bit of time here. Just turned his fastest lap of the race, a 17.919, a full 10th quicker than his previous fastest lap. But Craig Burns still out front. GT Irizarry now sitting in third, Chad Bessinger in fourth. And Kevin, that rear end damage, Kevin Gledrowski, in fifth place, trying to make something happen here. He's got a lot of work to do, though. You can make something happen with a damaged truck at a track like this. Aerodynamics aren't the end-all, be-all, but still, you want a clean truck. You want to take care of those tires. You got that side-by-side battle going, though. Let's see who comes out of this one at the end. Michael Sheffield pushing that truck a little bit. He's gaining on Craig Burns and gaining quite a bit. Still turning 18-1s. Craig Burns up in that second lane. Maybe trying to carry a little more momentum, searching for grip to make these laps go a little bit quicker because he's got Michael Sheffield and that number one Fireball truck right behind him. Michael Sheffield still gaining bit by bit on Craig Burns, but he might have burnt up his stuff pushing so hard there. Doesn't take a long time for the tires to fall off on a rough, abrasive track like this. This place is bumpy. It's easy to fight the wheel and saw at it. But the more you fight the truck, the more you burn up those tires here. You got to sort of depend on it. Trust in its long run speed. That last lap, though, within 2,000ths of our leader, Craig Burns. They are running almost identical lap times, these two. It's going to be a hard-fought battle to the end. They're sort of pulling away. They've got about 0.7 seconds over GT Irizarry sitting in third. Kevin now, Gladserich, sitting all the way back in fourth, another 0.7 back from GT. Then he's got Chad Bessinger not too far behind him. David Edwards, Robert Nestor a little bit further back now, about a full second back. You got Matt Oakbrook as well, who's fallen way off the pace. He's 13 seconds back. And Adam Lighty, one lap down, sits in ninth. Richard Gonzalez rounding out the field, still turning laps. He sits in 10th after having some connection issues towards the beginning of the race. On a side note, you see Michael Sheffield running the fireball scheme. I'm not going to start cranking down fireballs on a Monday night at 8 p.m. because I haven't hit that stage in my life quite yet. White Claw denied our sponsorship application, so Truly Hard Seltzer is the drink of choice tonight. The black cherry flavor is phenomenal, I must say. I hate the black cherry White Claw. A Truly Hard Seltzer with a hint of black cherry. Man, that's pretty darn good. But Michael Sheffield pumping that fireball straight into that engine, still running in second. GT Irizarry now in third, trying to get some Busch Light rolling here. It's a battle of the alcohols, but he got that truck of Craig Burns ahead of him, doing everything right here, just smooth, not letting anyone else impact the way he's running. GT Irizarry actually looking at the high line here to roll up on the outside, but not enough momentum up there yet, not enough grip up there yet to make a run on Michael Sheffield. In case you're just tuning in, you missed it at the start. This is the Adrenaline Rush Racing League at the .63 mile North Wilkesboro Speedway. 5/8 of a mile, 240 laps here tonight. Comes out to 150 laps, I want to say. 150 miles, I mean. 240 laps around this place. It's a tough little track, though. Man, can it give drivers headaches. We got Jack up here in the booth as well, calling this race. I'm Jeff McConey. Phil LeCast usually calls these races. He's gone for the night, though. We're wishing the best to him and a quick return to us here at the Full Velocity Racing Network. But thank you to everyone who's tuned in right now to the Adrenaline Rush Racing League. It's a great race going on, and Michael Sheffield is trying to make the most of it and run down Craig Burns, but he's got a tall order. He's losing a little bit of time here. He's a full second back. Now they've got lap traffic to deal with. Matt Oakbrook, he's going to be in a tough place when they get to him. Michael Sheffield's going to lose a little bit of time. GT Irizarry now is right behind Michael Sheffield, just within a bumper's length. Very, very close, but not enough there. GT Irizarry looking to roll the outside to make something happen, but that's another tall order. You got to get the run, and here it is. He's got the run going into turn number 3 on lap 73. We're almost a third of the way through this race already, but not quite enough. Irizarry slides back into third. If you're Craig Burns right now, you are looking in your rearview mirror, you're listening in on the broadcast here on the Full Velocity Racing Network channel, you're following along, you liked our page, all that stuff. If you're Craig Burns and you've done all those things, you're listening in, you are extremely happy when you hear that Michael Sheffield and GT Irizarry are fighting for second place. When two trucks are side by side, when two trucks are fighting for down. So that's why when you're battling with someone, you want to make just one quick pass. You want to get around them as fast as possible. And when you're leading someone, you don't want to get side by side with them. It just hurts both of you. It slows you both way down. Michael Sheffield now 1.8 seconds back, but here comes Kevin Glatzerich. He is actually right on that back bumper of GT Irizarry. Looks like Kevin's been saving his tires really well all race. And it looks like he's got that strength now. GT Irizarry now down low, going for the pass. They're side by side, a little bit of, gets up into the door. GT immediately jumps on, apologizes, but Kevin got into the back end of Michael Sheffield there. That roughed up the rear end. That also allowed Chad Bessinger to make a run in. Here's David Edwards as well. The whole field is sort of bunched back together from second to sixth, and they're all fighting for position. And Craig Burns has got to be through the roof ecstatic about this. It's letting him pull away like crazy. But at the same time, you got to be worried. Anytime GT Irizarry's in your rearview mirror, you know you're going to be in a little bit of trouble because that truck is fast moving. He's one of the best drivers out here. Still side by side, and Michael Sheffield now stuck on the outside is not having a good time. He's got to work so hard to get that truck rolling, burn the stuff up on the outside, but Michael Sheffield gets clear of David Edwards. Kevin, though, wow, goes way, way high in that 9 truck. He's going to get a good run off the corner, but now there's going to be a side-by-side battle for 5th, and Kevin's going to try and hold on the outside there. He's got the spot. Chad Bessinger can't hold on the bottom. But David Edwards now, coming from out of nowhere. He started in 10th. Now he's running up there in 4th place, trying to make a run in 3rd. GT Irizarry losing ground to Craig Burns. About 2/10 a lap now. He's pushing with everything he's got. Might have burnt his stuff up already. And Craig is just on cruise control on a nice Monday night drive. Now working that high line, David Edwards is clear of Michael Sheffield. Kevin Gladserich as well, now working that high line, is clear of Michael Sheffield. That drops Sheffield all the way back to 5th place. And now Gladserich up to 4th. David Edwards from 10th to 3rd, the biggest mover on the night for sure. Louis Irizarry still losing ground, 3.5 seconds back now. 3.7 seconds back now. 4.4 back to David Edwards and 4.8 to Kevin Gladserich. Michael Sheffield 5.1 and Chad Bessinger 5.3 seconds off of our leader. There's 7 trucks total on the lead lap. Robert Nestor, the last one, he's 13 seconds back. These drivers have all burnt their stuff up, it looks like, from 2nd through 7th, and are all holding on. Craig Burns, though, he's just out there cruising around, having himself a good old time on lap 90 of 240. Kevin just got up into the wall there in the 9 truck, just overdrove the entry a little bit. He's really driving that truck hard. So now he's trying to run down GT Irizarry along with David Edwards, who have now caught up to GT. Now they're falling back fast from Craig Burns. He's pulling away. And at this rate, he might even be able to lap the field if it were to go all the way to the checkered flag, but we'll have to see about that. Lap 90 now, Craig Burns, lap 91 now, I should say. Craig Burns out front. GT Irizarry sitting in 2nd, David Edwards 3rd. GT now under fire from David Edwards in that 15 truck. From 10th now looking for 2nd. He's down low, doesn't have the run to get clear yet. Still side by side, he's got the run there on corner entry. GT Irizarry up on the outside, carries so much more speed. They'll be clear on corner exit. GT Irizarry now gets side by side with David Edwards, looking for a little bit more. Looking for just that great run that he needs, but he's not going to get it. David Edwards slides up in front, and they almost kiss bumpers, but GT now still trying to run that high line up on the outside here at North Wilkesboro. That's a very difficult thing to do. David Edwards now in 2nd place. GT Irizarry drops to 3rd. Kevin Gladserich in 4th, and Chad Bessinger sits in 5th. Michael Sheffield's falling all the way to 6th now after running in 2nd place for a long time. And Robert Nestor, losing a lot of time each lap. That truck is in desperate need of new tires. Sits in 7th. Craig Burns is about 1.8 seconds off of his original pace. When they came out, they were running 18.0, maybe a 17.9 or 2. But he now is running 19.9s and still pulling away from the field. You see a truck down there at the bottom. That is Matt Oakbrook, and he's on fresh tires. He's running 19.0, so that's why he just got around Craig Burns, got one of his laps back. He's going to try and catch Adam Lighty and try and get back on the lead lap here. Should a caution come out, be in position to get the lucky dog. These drivers, though, Craig Burns doing everything right with his laps, taking care of those tires, being safe, being smart, trying to just hold on to that lead. And David Edwards is actually running him down a little bit. Actually running him down quite a bit, about a 10th a lap here, as Craig Burns a 19.832 that last lap, and a 19.774 for David Edwards. So could have some competition here, but that's a long, long distance back. 4 whole seconds is a lot of time to make up on another driver. 100 laps down, 140 to go, but rapidly approaching halfway. These drivers now are starting to get tired. They're starting to maybe get a little frustrated if they're out there on old tires and they're slow. Once one person pits, I think everyone else is going to follow. You have to follow them down. Here, you have to. The longer you stay out on old tires, the slower you're going to be and the more you're going to pay for it. It's just not worth it to stay out on old tires here. This track is so abrasive and eats right through them. You need those new tires as soon as someone jumps the gun and gets down there. Navigating lap traffic, Craig Burns doing it masterfully. Goes to the outside of the 11. That's Robert Nestor. Now going to go down to the inside of the number 46. That's Adam Lighty. Those trucks are all 1 lap down, now 2 down as he gets around them. These drivers need just to take care of their tires. Just be careful out here because this is where the truck starts to get loose. It wants to spin around. And on these long green flag runs, the longer you're out there, the harder it is to control. David Edwards has made up quite a bit of time on Craig Burns, cut that lead down to just 2.8 seconds. Still quite a ways to go. If he can keep on running that pace and running down Craig and get a little bit more each lap, with these long green flag runs, he absolutely has a chance to run him down and fight him for the lead, and that would be quite amazing to go from dead last to the win. That's quite the story. You can't do any better than that if you're David Edwards. David was quick in practice, though, turned a 17.85 in practice. That put him 5th on the board of 10 drivers, so not too bad at all, but these long green flag runs are what make or break the entire race. If you can hold on and your truck doesn't fall off nearly as bad as everybody else, you can really make something happen here. And now he sits 3 seconds back from Craig Burns, doing everything he needs to do to catch up. David Edwards slowly but surely reeling in Craig Burns. He's got that lead down to just 2.7 seconds now, and he's pulled away from GT0 sitting in third. The next question is, when are these drivers going to pit? We're on lap 115. We've had one caution so far, and it was sort of a freak deal there. We're just getting caught in lap traffic. But now David Edwards trying to run down Craig, doing everything he can. Reeling in a little bit at a time. Now that lead is down to 2.7 seconds, now 2.585 seconds. David Edwards is coming, but will he have enough here to catch him before the next pit stop, whenever that may be? It's about 0.2 a lap quicker that David Edwards is over Craig Burns, so now down to 2.3 seconds. GT Oziri now falling further and further, 5.1 seconds back for him. Chad Bessinger, 8.7, Kevin Glatzrich, 9.6, and Michael Sheffield, 10.0 seconds back from our leader. And those are the only 6 cars on the lead lap. The pit stops have started. Michael Sheffield now working his way down pit road, and I imagine everyone is going to follow suit. This would be quite a notable occurrence if everyone else decided to stay out, because Michael Sheffield is going to be so much quicker than everybody else. About 2 seconds quicker. Now Robert Nestor is going to come down. Nestor is going to be coming down pit road as well. Those drivers are going to be about 2 seconds quicker than everyone else in the field. I imagine Craig Burns is going to come down soon, decides not to this lap. He's going to stay out a little longer. Daniel Edwards stays out. GT Oziri a little sideways, but he stays out as well. Chad Bessinger, Glatzrich, those drivers all electing to stay out. So when is Craig Burns going to pit? Michael Sheffield just blew right by Craig, but you have to wonder, when is he going to come down pit road here and get back on cycle with everyone else? David Edwards, 1.3 seconds to the leader. That's it. He is reeling him in, and it's coming quickly here. Doing what he has to do to run down the leader, David Edwards. 1.2 seconds back now. But Craig Burns, David Edwards, GT0 have all stayed out here. They are still all out there running, and they haven't pitted. Michael Sheffield, Adam Lighty, and I believe Matt Obrick all have come down pit road. But now Craig Burns still choosing to stay out here and run a little bit longer. Just 0.6 seconds. That's the gap now from David Edwards to Craig Burns. David Edwards on rails, about 0.2 quicker a lap. Now a 10th quicker a lap than Craig Burns. He's going to just have to catch him and get around him, but he's definitely... Oh, he's coming down pit road this time, though. He's just announced that he's going to be pitting here. They're over halfway through this race, lap 133 of 240. He chooses to come down pit road. Now he has to not speed, be very careful here. He's about a 1 mile an hour slower. Now Craig Burns is going to come down pit road. It's just 0.6 seconds between the two. Let's see who's going to be able to come out in front here. Maybe that 15 truck can make something happen during the stop. GT Iriziri also down on pit road. So he's going to have to work his way up and try and find something here. But David Edwards now off and away. Let's see if he will beat Craig Burns off pit road here. Craig just getting into his box now. Oh, it's going to be close. David Edwards exiting turn 4. Craig still in the pits. He's leaving now. Getting up to speed. David Edwards with the advantage. Now that will shuffle him around to the lead as these pit stops work out. But Michael Sheffield pitted about 15 laps ago, so he will still be scored as the leader. Let's see now. David Edwards is going to have to try and run him down. Man, that is huge for David Edwards, though, to get out in front of Craig Burns. The 9 car, Kevin, is in the lead. He hasn't pitted yet. Chad Bessinger, same thing. Not yet come down pit road. But now this is all about pit strategy. Chad is now on pit road, Bessinger. And the 15 now sits in 3rd. And he's gaining rapidly on Michael Sheffield. David Edwards now around the much slower Kevin Glatzerich, and as well as around Michael Sheffield. Now Kevin is going to come down pit road. That shuffles David to the lead, and Craig Burns is almost certainly going to get around Michael Sheffield for 2nd place. Michael Sheffield's on older tires. So now Sheffield back to 3rd, Burns up to 2nd, and David Edwards, once again, your leader here from 10th to 1st, last to 1st here. Took him 142 laps to do it, but here he is. Now that these drivers have sort of evened out here, David Edwards, his last lap in 18.727. Craig Burns in 18.747. Running dead even between those two, just 0.02 apart. Very, very close together here. Less than a second separates the two, but they're going to be fighting hard for the lead with just about 100 laps to go. Now, you have to remember this race is not a sprint, it is a marathon, a long, long 240 laps for these drivers. They're starting to get tired. They probably already are a bit tired here, and they've still got 100 more circuits around this 5/8 mile. So it's an endurance race. It's all about who can keep focused the longest. And it looks like David Edwards' focus might have slipped a bit, and he's now falling into the clutches of Craig Burns, who's running him down. Michael Sheffield still sits third, GT Erzeri in fourth, now 7 seconds back. Chad Bessinger sits in fifth, the last car in the lead lap, last truck on the lead lap. Kevin, though, back there in sixth, 1 down. Robert Nestor in seventh, 1 lap down. Adam Lighty, Matt Oakbrook. Adam Lighty is 2 laps down, Matt is 5 down, and Richard Gonzalez still 16 laps down here, sitting in 10th place of a 10-car field. Craig Burns now has caught up, and he's just about 2 car lengths away. Call that 1 now, 1.5 now up to 2. David Edwards carrying the speed on corner exit, but Craig Burns reeling him in on corner entry and through the center. But David Edwards is able to rocket off on corner exit here. Now we're seeing which driving style is going to serve these drivers better. Do you be aggressive on corner entry or corner exit? Take care of those tires and be patient. What's the best way to do it here? Coming around some lap traffic, Robert Nestor stays high. Craig Burns within a truck length of our leader, David Edwards. As soon as Craig Burns gets close, it seems like David Edwards just finds a little bit of something here to pull away a little bit. Lap 156 at 240. We're in the end of this marathon here, but still a lot of racing to be done, and these drivers still have to be perfect, still have to take care of their tires, and still have to be smart. Craig Burns sitting within a truck length, waiting for his time to strike. Now that these drivers have sort of messed up their pit sequence here, there's about 10 lap. It was a 10-lap span from which all these drivers pitted. Actually, probably about a 20-lap span over which all these drivers pitted. The ones that pitted early in that cycle, like Michael Sheffield, are now a bit further back, further off the pace. And then you have people that pitted towards the end of that cycle, and you've got that truck there taking a look. You got the 46 car up on the outside, just trying to hold on, but who that is, the 16 of Oakbrook. He's on fresher tires now, and he actually just blew by both of our leaders, got in the middle of that battle, got around though, and now Craig Burns once again on that back bumper of David Edwards, but can't find the run to get around him. Gets right up to that bumper, but can't find a way to stick a nose in. and work his way around or get his run going up on the outside here. He's just sort of stalled out there behind him, working his hardest to get around and definitely using those tires up to try and get around him. But on lap 163, we're over 2/3 of the way through this race. It's now crunch time here to start thinking about how am I going to get around this guy and get out front and stay out. It's pretty much just those two cars, 9.2 seconds back from the leader to GT Oziri, another 2 seconds back to Michael Sheffield, another 5 seconds on top of that to Chad Bessinger. There's 5 cars remain on the lead lap here, but 2 of them are right next to each other, and they're battling for the lead. Just a quarter second separates the two. They're fluctuating from about a quarter second to 0.35 seconds, a third of a second there between them, always within that gap, but doing everything they can to, David's doing everything he can to outrun Craig, and Craig's doing everything he can to not let David outrun him. So it's a good battle up here in the front, and they are still, while battling, managing to pull away from the rest of the field. That's 2 fast trucks right there. Little bit of a bobble there for Craig Burns. Maybe he's burning up those tires, or David Edwards has found something. Something is causing him to pull away here. He's got about half a second now, but as I say that, Craig Burns starts to get closer here. Now he's got a good run. Not enough, though, to try and keep pace with David Edwards. Gained about half a tenth that last lap, but still fighting like crazy to even remain in the same postal code as David Edwards. Just 0.4 seconds now separating these two. And Craig, he's not ever falling too far back to falling out of striking distance here, but David Edwards certainly able to hold on and hold on to that lead, stay out front. Craig just can't get a run in, you know. He can get close, but he can't make a run for the lead to try and pass David. That's when David give it a little bit more, so I think he's just being patient, being very careful and patient on these tires. Still turning 19.6 seconds laps, which is still pretty darn good here for these drivers as they're working their way around here. Lap 176 now, and they are showing no signs of slowing down. Craig Burns now falling back a little bit. He's lost about a tenth a lap here. David Edwards just on cruise control, 19.6 after 19.6 after 19.6. Craig Burns now starting to lose that pace. He's fallen back to 0.9 seconds back after sitting about 0.2, 0.3, maybe 0.4 back for the past 20, 30 laps or so. But now he falls back another 10, so over a second behind now. Craig Burns might be in a little bit of trouble here as David Edwards is just cruising around all the way from 10th to 1st. David Edwards having himself a great run, and now all but 4 cars on this field are a lap down. Michael Sheffield once again trying to short pit. He's going to come down pit road. He's right on the edge of going a lap down, 18 seconds back, and it's a little dangerous there for him. Once you're that close to going a lap down, you're sort of forced to play your hand, make a strategy call, and he chooses to come in. Now 3 trucks on the lead lap here. That's David Edwards, Craig Burns, and GT Urziri. GT has had a good risk of going a lap down as well. He's 13.5 seconds back. It's quite possible David Edwards and Craig Burns could lap the field here. That slow loss of time that Craig Burns was having looks like he's got it all sorted out. He's running now a 10th quicker than David Edwards. So they're trading back and forth who's quicker for a little while. But now a full second back, 0.9 seconds back is Craig Burns from our leader David Edwards. And I think they're going to be out here for another 15, 20 laps or so before they make their final pit stop. Lap 188 in the books on 189 now of 240 here at North Wilkesboro. A little bit of a bobble there by David Edwards, but he's able to hold on to it. 0.7 seconds back, and here comes Michael Sheffield as well. Now that he's on fresh tires, he's going to be a lot quicker, working his way up through the field. And now that puts David Edwards in sort of a weird spot. He's got a lap car ahead of him that's slower, and here comes Craig Burns. Up on the outside follows Michael Sheffield. David Edwards got stuck in a weird spot there, had a slower lap car ahead of him that he had to slow down for, and then he had to let Michael Sheffield by. Now Craig Burns up there on the outside. David Edwards slips up a bit, gets tight, and now he's going to get that run on the bottom. Man, this is a great battle for the lead here, and lap traffic is playing a big part in it. David Edwards fighting that truck like crazy. 45 laps left in this race. Now they're looking to go 3 wide for the lead. That's a slower lap truck there. David Edwards uses him as a pick. Uses Robert Nestor as a pick, I should say, and holds off Craig Burns a little bit. Nestor and Burns almost come together. Edwards now holding on to the lead, but let's see for how long, as Craig Burns is going to try and roll the outside here. He's got there. He's at the right rear quarter panel. Not going to have the run, though. The run goes to David Edwards on the bottom. Let's see what Craig Burns decides to do. He's within a truck length, but can he strike on David Edwards, who's been so strong on the bottom for the past 50 laps? Will he be able to hold on to it here? Doing everything he can to hold off Craig Burns, who got a great run there and a good chance at the lead earlier on. Battle for the lead once again. Craig Burns looks to the outside, but not enough out there. Let's see when these guys choose to come to pit road as well, because that's coming up here soon. With just 40 laps to go, now 39 laps to go in this race, you can make one more pit stop here and try and run this race out to the end. David Edwards now going to come down pit road this time. Craig Burns is going to follow him. Edwards hits his box perfectly. Let's see if anyone's going to be able to do the same, if Craig Burns is going to be able to do it. He gets sideways into his box. That might hurt him a little bit. Right side's up in the air for Burns. Who is going to win this race off pit road? Passing at this track is so difficult. There goes David Edwards, and Burns follows him about 10 truck lengths back, I'd say. And now that's huge, huge for David Edwards. Now GT Riziri is technically your leader out front, but he has not pit yet. Chad Bessinger sits second. David Edwards in third, though. But actually, he's going to be scored in fourth behind Michael Sheffield. But those drivers ahead of them either pitted earlier or haven't pit yet. So now David Edwards zips right on by Michael Sheffield. No harm, no foul there. About 1.3 seconds back to Craig Burns is the advantage that David Edwards has over him. Now he's got to run down Chad Bessinger and GT Riziri, but that battle for the lead is between Edwards and Burns, and that's probably the battle for the win. Edwards now up to second, Burns in third, and they're running much quicker than GT Oziri, who's yet to pit. So this battle here between the two, just 0.6 seconds separates them. Burns is certainly reeling Edwards in, and it's now 30 more laps, 31 laps left in this event. This is the sprint to the finish. This is what they've all been waiting for. Racing for now over an hour and 10 minutes for this moment here to run down towards the end. The last 30 laps are here, and they're key to try to make sure you don't make any mistakes. Now, David Edwards to the lead, worked his way around GT, who pulled over and let him by. He knows on those old tires he doesn't have enough. Craig Burns just 0.6 seconds back, hanging out back there, but he's got a lot of work to do if he wants to catch and get around David Edwards. This would be the perfect race for Edwards if he comes out with the win. He's led 64 laps so far, and he's looking for more here. 0.6 seconds is all that separates those drivers, though, and after 240 laps, that is amazing how close they are. 214 laps, I should say, just how close they are. Closing in now. We saw it earlier where David Edwards was able to hold off Craig Burns when he would get these runs and close in. Will he be able to do it again, though? That's the question. 23 laps remaining in this event in the Adrenaline Rush Racing League Truck Series here at North Wilkesboro. 5/8 of a mile, and they are really running it like this thing is a quarter of a mile. That's how aggressive they are. They're giving everything they can. 19 ones around the track here for these drivers. Chad Bessinger in third, Michael Sheffield in fourth. Those are the only other drivers on the lead lap. Of the 10 drivers, 6 of them are a lap down. Battle shaping up back here for third. Chad Bessinger is a little bit slower than Michael Sheffield. Sheffield hit it earlier, and he's been fast all night. Still looking like a stagnant battle up for the lead, though. Just 0.3 seconds separates them. Here comes Sheffield down low. Bessinger not able to put up much of a fight there. He just goes up to the outside and says, I'm happy with the top 5 here tonight. So he's going to let Sheffield go right on by. For the lead, though, David Edwards still holding off Craig Burns. Still about 2 truck lengths separating the two of them. As Michael Sheffield now goes a lap down, that makes it official. Craig Burns and David Edwards have lapped the field. They're the only ones remaining on the lead lap, but a little bit more trouble there for Craig Burns getting around Michael Sheffield than David Edwards has. That allows a little bit of a gap here. 14 laps to go for David Edwards, and he can count this win as his. He's got a lot of work to do. It's going to be close between him and Craig, and they both want this win badly. Craig Burns might have asked a little too much of his tires here. He's fallen back to 0.8 seconds back, and now with just 8 laps to go at the line, David Edwards is pulled away by another 10th there. He's going to try and lock this thing down. It's far from over. There's a lot that can happen, but Craig Burns looks like he's just in a little bit of trouble here as David Edwards is rolling smooth. Here comes the 16 car, Matt O'Brook. He's on fresher tires, going to work his way around our leader here. And David Edwards is going to have to let him by, I'm sure. But 1.1 seconds now separates first and second. BDR Racing has passed Michael Sheffield for third. Chad Bessinger now sits in fifth. Michael Sheffield fourth. And now for the lead, David Edwards still holding on, still putting down some really quick laps. Coming to the line, it's going to be 5 to go for David Edwards. There it is, 5 to go, but as we hit 5 to go, Craig Burns pulls in about 1.1 seconds back now because David had to let a faster car by on fresh tires by. That last lap, about 0.2 quicker. Now all he has to do is keep this truck rolling straight, put down some half-decent laps, and he will come out of this the winner. 4 to go, coming to 3 to go at the line. David Edwards over Craig Burns. Two more laps right now for David Edwards. He's doing a great job. Just 6 more turns now. He's going through 3 and 4, taking the white flag at North Wilkesboro Speedway. David Edwards is in the air. He's got just 4 turns to go, and he will walk out of this race the winner after starting in 10th place. Didn't put down a time in qualifying, was about halfway back in the pack in practice, didn't run anything better than a 17.859. From 10th to 1st, David Edwards is your winner over Craig Burns in second, GT Irizarry in third, Michael Sheffield in fourth, Chad Bessinger comes home fifth, Kevin Glatzerich comes home in sixth. All those drivers from third to sixth were 1 lap down. Robert Nestor 4 laps down in 7th. Adam Lighty 5 down in 8th. Matt Oakbrook in 9th with 9 laps down. And Richard Gonzalez, 39 laps down, finishes in 10th. But David Edwards is going to do some donuts here. He is your winner. GT Irizarry came home 3rd tonight after starting in 6th. We're going to get a word in with him here. As soon as we can get him into this channel here, we'll be able to talk to GT Irizarry. Ah, here we go. GT, you had a great run out there. It's Jeff up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How you guys doing?
I'm doing well, but I imagine you're doing a little bit better there. 3rd place here tonight. But you've been really, really strong these past few weeks. But in qualifying, you were actually half a second off. Is it just something about this track that is yet to be figured out?
Yeah, we're still working on it. Even in practice, we were one of the slowest trucks out here. I don't know. I mean, we got lucky to finish where we were. I mean, I was trying to catch leaders so I can at least be on the lead lap with them. But you know, hey, I'm not going to complain about 3rd place. I mean, it was rough. It really is.
I was going to say, any night you can complain about 3rd place has got to be a good night, though. It shows that you're doing a lot of the right stuff. And if 3rd place is a bad night, man, that is one competitive team there. So what was the key here tonight? Was it tire management? Was it just being in the right place at the right time and planning your strategy, or what?
Yeah, tires were the thing, but you know, I've always learned at tracks like this, you try to learn from the ones that are better. And you know, right off the rip, we took off and I was running the low line with everybody, and I just burned up the right front. I mean, it was toast, man. So that next run, I said, well, I'm gonna move it up the track, and I found a little something up there, and actually started passing people. And actually, you know, I got to run on Sheffield there, and you know, I apologize, I didn't mean to use him up in the turn like that, but I mean, it was just so hard to pass, and you know, I shoved him up out of the way, and then from there we just kind of pulled off and just kept running that line. And tire strategy was definitely it. Pit strategy was it too. You know, I try to stay out there. I ain't gonna lie. I try to steal one from these boys and just stay out there and hope for a yellow to come out. And then if it would have, then I would have been one of the only guys that would have had fresh tires. And I mean, they would have been toast from there. But it didn't play in my favor. So it's all right. I mean, it's Busch Light F-150. You know, still got a top 3. It's better than what it did last week in Michigan, my favorite track, and embarrassed ourselves. We spun out twice, caused 2 yellows. I mean, that's just unheard of with us, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna bring that up.
Everyone here, you know, knows how strong of a driver you are, but man, you put together a really good run here tonight to battle back and get up to 3rd place. Who do you have to thank for it?
Well, like always, thank you boys for coming out here. Thank Michael for having this league for us to come out here on Monday night. And, you know, I thank all the drivers out here. I mean, I've said it time and time and again, talking to you guys. I mean, the talent here is getting better and better. You know, and so like I say, you're starting to see newer names up on the front and stuff like that. So I appreciate these guys being clean and being you know, fun to talk to on the channel as well, man. Thanks again.
Absolutely. Well, GT, congratulations on that third place run. I know it was a hard fought battle, but you did a great job getting it done.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, and congratulations to David for winning taking the checkers, and Chad for taking second. The boys were nose to tail with each other, man. I was waiting for them to spin out.
Yeah, it was a really close battle. And speaking of Craig Burns, let's get him in here and hear what he has to say about tonight's race. Craig, it's Jeff up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
Well, you had a really strong run out there, and you were just right up there with David for most of the time, and it seems like you could hang with him for about 20 laps, and then the truck would just fall back. Was that the tires wearing off, or what more did you need to sort of make a run there to try and get around him?
Yeah, I felt like the truck was on rails tonight for sure. I knew David had a longer running truck, so I was kind of nervous about that, but it was a lot of fun up here with him. Really good race car driver.
Absolutely. What was the key for tonight's race for you? Was it tire strategy, tire management, or just something else entirely?
I'll be honest with you, I was very unsure coming into this race because I've never actually ran a race on this track before. So I went out there, try to utilize my braking zones and try to keep the tires intact, but obviously it didn't pay off there.
Absolutely. Who do you have to thank there for that second place run tonight?
I'd just like to thank Michael Sheffield for putting on a show. You guys broadcast, all the fans watching at home. Shout out to my dad. I know he's watching. So it's cool to run out here with these guys. Appreciate everything you guys do.
Absolutely. Well, Craig, congratulations. You got the pole. You finished second here tonight. That's a darn good night here. And you were actually the only other car on the lead lap at the end. So quite a strong showing out here for you.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys.
Absolutely. And now we'll bring in our race winner, David Edwards here. Let's see. David Edwards. It's Jeff up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Well, you're the race winner here tonight. You had to hold off a hard-charging Craig Burns. You started dead last and worked your way up through the field. How did you possibly make that happen at a track where passing is so difficult?
I knew it was going to come down to tire management, and I just knew if I could just pick them off one by one, let them get spread out, I knew it'd eventually come into play. Craig and GT had me worried tonight. I know Craig got out there to a big lead in that first run, or the second run. I knew I was kicking him off about a tenth a lap, but just I didn't know when we were going to pit, and I didn't know how long we were going to go. Sheffield actually about got us on that run, so it was just a chess match, so to say, with Craig and GT tonight.
Absolutely, it was, and you played the strategy perfectly. Did you have that strategy planned out from the beginning, or did you just have to play it by ear and call it as it came?
I had it, and initially I wanted to break it up. You know, we had 4 sets. I wanted to break it up 60-60, and with that caution coming out at like 50-something, took tires then, and then I was basing my strategy then off of Craig because I was catching him, and then it seemed like he was doing the same for me. So it was just I dove off down pit road when I thought I could. It was a guessing game from there.
Absolutely. And hey, it looks like guessing games are your strong suit. You came out the winner here after going from last to first. Who do you have to thank for pulling that run off tonight?
I got to thank everybody, SJR, Michael, Matt, Curtis, putting in the time for the setup and everything. Adrenaline Rush for putting on the league. Michael does a lot for these and just puts in the time and effort and the money. My wife for letting me do this on Monday nights, and just everybody back at the shop for putting one hell of a good truck underneath me tonight.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on that win there, David. You made it look easy out there, but I can only imagine how hard 240 laps here must have been.
Yes, sir. That was rough. I'd like to thank you guys too for putting this on and broadcasting it. It makes it fun to go back and watch either tonight or tomorrow and see how everything panned out throughout the rest of the field.
Yeah, you've got you got quite a bit of airtime tonight with how many laps you led. So congratulations on it and great job on the win.
You guys, thank you guys again for putting this on. It's a hell of a show.
Absolutely. Well, That is the show here tonight. We saw a fantastic race here at North Wilkesboro. A tough little track, but man, is it a lot of fun to watch some racing here. The Adrenaline Rush Racing League Truck Series once again puts on a great show. These 10 drivers know how to get it done. North Wilkesboro, a fantastic place. Thank you to Blade Note for being a sponsor here of the channel. Thank you as well to IracingIflag for being associated with us. There are all of our amazing sponsors involved with us there on your screen now. Sheffield Graphics, J-Max Strong, Milner. Oh, man, so many places that sponsor us and people to thank. Be sure to check all of them out and show them all some love for associating here with the Full Velocity Racing Network. Thank you to everyone that tuned in. It was great having you. I was Jeff McConey here in the booth. Over on the controls, though, we had our master of them, Jack, working the cables, and he did a great job there. Be sure to tune in next week and to all of our other races. Follow along with the page, like the page, follow along. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Have a good night.